So we are going to be hi everyone, hope you're great. Welcome back. I'm Busi Selesho. So don't worry if you see me looking at two places. We've got Instagram this side and we've got Facebook and YouTube this side. So welcome. Now today we are discussing the topic Ayahuasca Journeys. So we're having our next ayahuasca ceremony this coming weekend. So I've been getting a lot of questions around what to expect, what will happen, what won't happen. So I am going to be sharing a little bit on the journeys that I've witnessed from when I'm facilitating, and then of course some of my experiences. So now, why ayahuasca? And I know everybody that comes through to the ceremonies, they go on YouTube or in the internet and they Google and they get like this scary stuff of what has happened to people. And everybody's just worried if they're going to die. So no, you won't die. But of course, is there people who have died from ayahuasca ceremonies? It happens there and there. And there's a good reason why those kind of things happen. And it is just because sometimes it's not the people who are facilitating haven't done enough on setting up the energy of the space in before the ceremony happens. So the 2 weeks before you hold a ceremony as a facilitator, I mean, it took me 3 years to learn this and to be able to do it correct, because I'm just one of those people that I want to be sure that what I'm doing makes sense or I'm doing it correctly. So all my training was about the preparation before the ceremony. You need to go to these people's Akasha records that are coming through and find out what karma they're looking at. Find out what kind of healing they are looking at. Find out if they are even ready to take the medicine. And I tell you, so many people will sign up, will sign off from on the last day because at that time they are not ready to take the medicine. But on my side, I have to sit down and talk to them in the spirit and let them know that they are not ready and that they shouldn't come through, and it's fine. You keep your money, or you ask for a refund or whatever happens. But if you're not ready, I will not take on anybody that is not ready, because I just don't want to have things that are bad happen to anybody. But everybody that is ready to experience the medicine, everybody that is ready, ayahuasca is a motherly energy, an amazing motherly energy that will comfort you. If you're going through trauma in life, that you know you've lost a loved one, you have lost important things in your life, you are going through a phase of, I don't know how to handle my situation, I'm exhausted, this and this is happening, I don't know what to do where I am. It's a motherly energy that will sit with you like a grandmother and will counsel you that this and this is happening because of this and this and this, you can come out of this way, this is how you must handle your kids at this point, this is how you must handle your partner at this point, this is how you must handle your relationships, your business relationships, your friendships, your work relationships. This is a mother energy that will coach you through the hardest things in your life. So ayahuasca is totally different from a San Pedro, and I've shared some light on a San Pedro ceremony before, and I'm still gonna do more of those videos. But a San Pedro energy is more about the father energy that gets you to get things done. So you know you've got procrastination. San Pedro is definitely going to be the one. But if you need to deal with things in your life, like deal with things that are in the dark, you know, those things that you never tell anybody, you put on a blanket at night and you cry about those things, and nobody will understand. Like people will be like, oh, get over that person, oh, get over this, and you know you can't. Like at 3 o'clock in the morning, you wish you could call the person, and you know this is wrong, you shouldn't be even doing it. So Ayahuasca is the medicine that will help you deal with those things. I have had my moments with ayahuasca, and I can tell you, I normally don't like ayahuasca because I'm not the person who's ready to give up on anything. I'm not a person who's ready to let go of anything. Like I've got all that. I want to fix it. I want to fix it. Let's get it fixed. Uh I want to fix stuff. I can't say, yeah, maybe this is not the thing. So I have to use a lot of that energy from ayahuasca to know when something is not for me, to know when to go on, to know when to say, okay, this is okay. I'll forgive. I mean, literally, I learned forgiveness from ayahuasca. I learned to forgive the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst. When people have done the worst to you, I've learned to forgive. And then you know what happens when you forgive? Then their color on their side. And you know what? Karma cannot work until you've forgiven a person. So if you really want to see them go through the shit that they have put you through, you need to forgive them. So in an ayahuasca ceremony, you get to let go of anger. You get to let go. It's a let go situation. You get to let go of anger. You get to let go of control. You learn to trust the higher power. You learn to trust your intuition. You learn to trust your guides. So as much as San Pedro is more about getting things done, getting you out of like um, uh, maybe what is this, addictions and those kind of stuff that are doing you wrong. But an ayahuasca ceremony, it is if you have any trauma that you are exhausted dealing with, that you are tired dealing with, an ayahuasca ceremony is the place to be at. So I wanted to share with you some of the journey. So we call it an ayahuasca journey. We call it journeying with the medicine because every time you go on an ayahuasca ceremony is a different setup. You get different healing. You get to deal with different things around your life. I have had so many ayahuasca ceremonies that I did, from intense to light, and all of them, I can never tell you that there was anything that was the same. Sometimes you are healing more of your body, and when you're healing more of your body, you will feel that you get rid of anxiety, and you get rid of exhaustion, and just being weak in your body. You get rid of those things, or you're working on your emotions. You're getting rid of being scared, fear, doubt, and those kind of things. Or you're working on your spiritual things, and that is when you actually get to understand things that have happened in your lineage, things that are going to happen, think of what you should be prepared for, of why this has happened, why you are here, why a lot of whys get answered. So in the things that has to do with the spiritual stuff. So you are absolutely at every single ayahuasca ceremony that you go to, you are going to be given what you need at that time, the most urgent thing in your life at that time, the most important thing at that time. That is what comes up. Okay, so now let me just discuss a little bit about the journey. So the ayahuasca journey is well, we do it with the moon. Let me just start with the with the physical stuff, the environment. We do it with the moon energy. Why? Because the moon energy represents the mother. The moon energy represents the behind the scenes. The moon energy represents the most powerful energy we have. We all work with the sun energy and the moon energy. The moon energy is when we're fixing us. The sun energy is when we go out and fix the world, or get things done, or shine in the world, or let the world see us, let the world knows us, let the world accept us, let the world take care of us. But when you are doing the ayahuasca ceremony, you work with the internal, your value, your value. um you can never get a job if you don't value yourself enough to know that you are worthy of that job. You can't get an increase at work if you don't value. They will say, yes, we want to increase your salary, but then they will keep just stalling and stalling and stalling and just not doing it because you don't value yourself to that point that you think this is good for you. So you want to build up your worth. So an ayahuasca ceremony will help you to build your worth, because remember, by the time we go out in the world and say, see us and understand us and give us what we want, but we need to have been loving ourselves, knowing who we are, giving us what we want the world to give to us, giving us the love, giving us the attention, giving us all the things that we need. And of course, then we can say, money, come to me because I'm worthy. Money, come to me because I deserve you. I can understand who I am, why I'm here, my purpose. So during an ayahuasca ceremony, all those things happen. I mean, Steve Jobs got Apple in an ayahuasca ceremony. It's about purpose. It's about understanding who you are. It's about understanding what must happen next. It's about understanding why you are existing. So now, during that time, during the night, so we start at 6 p.m. and we finish at 6 a.m. So sunset to sunrise, we are working with the moon energy. The moon energy is the most comforting energy, but also is the energy that will take out a lot of things that are in the, you will, during the night is when we all go wish at the most. Even a person who is sick, they get more sicker during the night. They will say, oh, the person during the day, they were sitting up, they were walking around. Oh, now at night we didn't sleep, because everything at night gets to intensify. So even the trauma that you have gone through, because it's during the night, because we're working with the energy, it gets intense. You find that a lot of people, specific hours during the night, it just gets so intense, because that is everything that they have not been wanting to look at. It's finally showing up and saying, hey, deal with me. Hey, I'm here. Deal with me. Hey, this thing did hurt you for sure. So now it's time for you to deal with it. That's why I'm saying, you in an ayahuasca ceremony, you get to forgive people for sure. You get up the next day, the anger is gone. You have vomited all of it. The rage you had is gone, and you're just like, okay, it's all right. I'm gonna just let it go. And then immediately after that, you will hear stories that now things have turned. And because of most of the time, you've just let go of that. You're like, oh, I don't care anymore. I don't care. And it's like, everybody's like, oh my goodness, your answers to your prayers have been answered, and you all, of course, just have gotten over it. But anyway, that is what is more important. Every time you hold these kind of things, they take from you. They take your joy, they take your peace, they take your blessings, they take everything. So letting them go is the best thing. Okay, so we start the ceremony. Before we start the ceremony, of course, there is a counseling. Everybody must get counseling before the session, so that they know what to expect. So normally during that time, I teach the people how to talk to the medicine, because the medicine will talk to you the whole entire night. So there are times when you are not counseled good, like you don't understand, you might miss the talking to the medicine. Of course, you get all the stuff that is happening, but you don't know how to engage the medicine, because the moment you know how to engage the medicine, you are engaging your higher self, you are engaging the God self in you, and you can have a proper conversation about things that have been holding you back for so long. So you don't want to miss that opportunity. So before the session, then I do the counseling, where I let everybody understand how you are going to communicate with the medicine, because it is very, very important for you to communicate, so that you can get the answers to what you want to. You can understand, even if it's, you came with your list that says, I want a BMW, I want a wife with big bums, and I want, whatever. And then ayahuasca is talking to you about becoming a CEO and this and this and this. It is fine, but you need to have a conversation about those things, because maybe you will never get a woman with a big bum until you're a CEO. So ayahuasca knows what you really need. Okay, so you tell my son, when you want a woman with a big bum, so you must be a CEO first. So let's talk about you being a CEO, because when you're a CEO, all the bums will come. You will just have to choose one you like, you see. So like I'm saying, ayahuasca will talk to you, will come with your list of intentions, but ayahuasca will then have a conversation with you about what is mostly important. And sometimes you would have not thought whatever that ayahuasca is saying to you at that time is the important thing. So whatever the conversation that ayahuasca starts, you need to then engage so that you get more out of it. Okay. So I go through that counseling where we talk about what's up, and everybody asks questions about what they think is important and they want to know. So the next step, which is the process I was talking about, that I have to do it 2 weeks before the ceremony to make sure that everybody is protected, is in a bubble, is in a spiritual bubble, because once you have drank the medicine, you leave the third dimension. You are still in the third dimension. You still know that I'm Busi, I'm a girl, you know where the bathroom is and all those kind of things. But you are thinking way bigger than just being a Busi that, just wakes up every day and see people from 4 a.m. You become way bigger than just what you have said. Oh, I'm a mom, I'm a this, I'm a healer, I'm a this. You know more about you. So during that time, you go into the fourth dimension, which is the dreaming state. You see things as if you are dreaming, but you are not dreaming. You are actually looking at everything. So but you see these dreams, so you are dreaming while you're awake. Okay. And then you then go into the fifth dimension, which is where I always say, you know what, once we're in the fifth dimension, it's so good there that you might not want to come back. So people who are in the if it's copies, they are in the fifth dimension. They don't care if they've bathed, they don't care if they've got money in the bank, they don't care if you love them or you don't, they don't care if you approve of them. They just think life is amazing. Like, they are having the good life. Those people have copies, they don't have now problems whatsoever. It's just us who thinks they should come back to the third dimension, but really they are already living where we're all gonna go. So when you are in the ayahuasca thing, you are going to go to the fifth dimension, but because of the measurement of medicine, I will check with your energy how much you need. I give you a measurement, a dose that is good, that you can tap into the fifth dimension, but you cannot really enjoy the fifth dimension, because once you really enjoy it, then we're gonna lose you. You're gonna fly away and not come back. You're gonna like be like, ah, guys, right, goodbye. I'm good. I'm leaving. So my job, very critical job, is to test. Like I said, I have to go and check everybody's akasha records to make sure that I'm giving you the right dose for you to access all the information you need, but to stay here in the third dimension, because we need you in the third dimension. We need you to come back and be a CEO. We need you to come back and be a mother that makes sense. We need you to come back and be a business person, a businesswoman. We need you to come back here and change the world. We need you to come back here. So we cannot have you in the fifth dimension, because in the fifth dimension you don't care about nothing. Okay, so now you will keep going from those three, depending on how much you need each information, and where is the information you are needing. Most people, because of the spiritual stuff, because most people who come through to my ayahuasca ceremonies are mostly spiritual people. They sometimes don't know that they've got a spiritual gift and this and this and this, but when they come, they finally like get to be talked to about that stuff, and they're like, oh no, like, oh hell no, me no. So I always say I will never confirm to anybody if you have a spiritual gift or not. I mean, the Lord will tell you yourself. It's not my business. So now you will probably stay a lot in the fourth dimension, where things are being explained to you in the most easiest way. In the fifth dimension, you go there for high level information that you need, and then you come back, and then you stay mostly in the fourth dimension. So I normally will put an intention that I need everybody to stay in the fourth dimension to see enough, but like not get excited about things that are too big for them. So uh you are understanding what needs to happen when you come back to the third dimension. You are understanding how to let go when you come back here, and you are able to let go, and you are able to understand why, and you are able to understand when and what, all this kind of stuff. Okay, so one important thing as for me as a facilitator that I need to make sure is that everybody is in this bubble of spiritual protection, because now when you have tapped into the other dimensions, there isn't only good spirits, there's also bad spirits. So the bad spirits, like I always say, all of us have got some karma stuff that's somewhere. So sometimes you talk bad about somebody, sometimes you're jealousy on somebody, sometimes you took somebody's boyfriend, or sometimes you took somebody's husband. Sometimes, we all have done things that we are not proud of, and those things, remember, we have to pay for them at some point. Karma is a bitch, it will come for you. So once you are in those dimensions, also the spirits that are about paying your karma, they will come and say, we need this one has done this to this one, and then the shit hits the fan right there. So that is why when I'm saying you go to an ayahuasca ceremony where this facilitator is not clued up about that, you will die, because then they wouldn't know how to protect you. So when I'm taking people in, I have to plead with every spiritual realm that their spiritual realm to protect them, for them to not have to deal with their karma in that situation, for them to deal with their karma in the 3D. When you're dealing with your karma in the 3D, it is when you will get dumped. It's when you will get fired. It's when you will be broke. It's when, what, deal with your karma here and learn your lessons, other than dealing with your karma in the spiritual realm, because it's more hard on your spirit. So then that is why it is important for you to even understand what are those things that you need to clear up, because wherever you have done wrong, you need to come back and say, I'm sorry. You don't even maybe have to go to a human being and say, I'm sorry to that human being, but you have to repent. At all times, we have to, whatever thing you have done, whatever thing you've looked at another person and you've felt that their palms are nicer than yours, you've now committed a crime, because you said God didn't do good with your palms. And you can go to the gym and fix your palms really seriously. You don't have to worry about anybody's palms. So why am I talking about palms today? Oh Lord. So anyway, you are going to have to deal with your things. Whatever things you have done, you will deal with them. But that is why I said, as a facilitator, I have to make sure that you deal with those things in a correct way. And the bad spirit cannot just say, oh, by the way, she is bad, we can do whatever, so you are safe. You can be able to deal with your things in a safe environment. And now I understand that I can no longer continue living this life. I can no longer continue being jealous of other people. I can no longer continue being envious of other people's lives. I need to make my own life better. I can't be envious of other people, because then I'm continuously creating karma that I don't even have time to deal with. Okay, so then I can tell you so many stories. One time there's a lady that was in the ayahuasca ceremony, and she said to me, we say at some point there was, so we had an extra bed that it was not there. So there was a white lady that had said she was booking, but then she got cold feet and then she didn't come through. But her bed was already there. So her bed was there. But then the thing is that even if you don't come, sometimes you do come, and it happens. And one day I'll explain how this happens. But then, so this lady saw this white lady that was sitting there, and she didn't know that there was a white lady that had signed up and paid her money, and she was supposed to come. So the whole time I was preparing for these 2 weeks, I was putting her in the circle, so she was already there. But physically she was just scared to come through. So now she sees her. Okay, and she says that lady, because it was raining that day, and I had moved some of the people from the one side to the next side of the room, just so that the other side, I was feeling like they gonna probably because there were windows that were not maybe closing well, because we are in a barn. So I was thinking, oh well, let's move them to the other side. So other people moved, and it was fine. And then she said, then the lady came and talked to her, and the lady said, oh, you guys are doing great, you guys are doing good healing. And then all of a sudden the lady took her on and was just like trying to strangle her and all of that. And she said, I stood up and I came and I handled the lady with one hand and threw her outside. And then she like came back to the 3D and she's like, oh no, this didn't happen. It felt so real, but it didn't happen. But those are the kind of things that happens, that you need somebody who has really prepared very well for any of those traumatic things. And I can tell you a few more things that like that had happened. But also, because we do a lot of preparation, we make sure there's a lot of fasting that goes with it, there's a lot of preparation that goes with it. So then you also meet your highest guides, and that is the process that is, I think, is more important, that you meet your highest guides, because the environment is clean and it's safe. Your highest guides can come through and talk to you about important things, so you then get to meet them and have a conversation, and sometimes see them and how they look like or whatever, hear a voice, or talk to them in whichever way that you need to talk to them about. So then you sometimes we will have physical symptoms like vomiting, or maybe going to the bathroom to poop a lot, or whichever that your body wants to take out the trauma and fear and all these kind of things and sicknesses. I have seen people go and vomit tumors. I have seen, yes, I mean, yeah, I've seen stuff like, oh God, yes, I've seen things. Yo, don't even know that. Think about it. So whatever that needs to happen will happen during the night, and then of course, towards the early hours of the morning, and then the medicine will start to subside. So it takes about 4 to 6 hours. Ayahuasca ceremony takes about 4 to 6 hours. It's quite intense, 4 to 6 hours. And at the end of the 6 hours, then yay, you have time to take notes. And but you remember everything that has happened. So that's what we call a journey. So people will say, I journeyed well. When they say they journeyed well, normally the person means that they met their guides. They got enough information. They got their questions answered. They understand what is what. And so a bad journey will be a journey where a person was dealing with ipoko and this and that. Like, I always say, don't ever, 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 ever prepare. Like, when you book for the ayahuasca, we give you days to prepare, eat what is said to be eaten, do what you need to be doing, because you are, by doing that, you are eliminating a lot of drama for yourself to have a good journey. So the preparation time is so critical, that you do the preparation. And I have seen, now ayahuasca is a little bit more easy to work with. Like, I've seen people come and they're not prepared, and ayahuasca actually treats them like they've prepared. Like, ayahuasca is like, you can get away with a lot. It's a mother energy. Mothers always be like, oh no, it's fine, it's my child, she will do it better next time. But San Pedro, you don't prepare there, you will think you are dying. San Pedro needs so much respect. You need to respect that medicine. If you don't prepare, you will sure, and I will have more work dealing with you, because you will be flying away. San Pedro will traumatize the hell out of you, because it will say, I'm fixing you, but then you see you can't even take care of yourself. So it will be more like, it's trying to take out things you've eaten. You've eaten meat. It's trying to take out the meat out of you, but it's also trying to save you from procrastination. So you dealing with a lot during the ceremony. And of course, San Pedro is longer than ayahuasca. So, but ayahuasca is a little bit more linear. Now, I'm not saying don't prepare for it. The more you prepare, the more you're gonna gain more. The more you're gonna say, oh, I had an amazing journey, and I've come up with so much information. But if you are not prepared, you've eaten meat, you have drank alcohol and all these kind of things that are not good for you, had sex and all these things, you are not gonna get the best of the best experience. And of course, a lot of other people, when they come through, they have to be dealing with past life regressions and all those kind of things. So in that case, you'll find that the person just sleeps a lot during the ayahuasca ceremony, just sleeps a lot, but they're dealing with past lives. But when they come out, they wake up, their complexion has changed, they're a brand new person because they've covered a lot of karmic information that they needed to understand. But normally that happens when you just sleep, and that is the nice thing about that, is that if you are dealing with more spiritual things, you sleep. If you are dealing with more emotions and physical things, that's when then you will be finding yourself going to the bathroom and this and that and that and that. Okay, so any question, guys? I wanted to keep our live short. Let me see if we've got any questions from Instagram. Hey, Offense says that you can come to Kenya. Yeah, hey, yeah, I'm sure people in Kenya need some ayahuasca. Hotaso says, do you share the Akashic records or is it just for you to use? Oh, Hotaso, I do Akashic records sessions. It's just that it's a lot of information for me to call upon, and there's a lot of preparations that I need to do, but I do sometimes do akasha records for somebody. So but normally during the preparations of the ayahuasca, I do them like I just talk to the information I need that concerns the ayahuasca journey. So like other than like if I'm doing an akashic record for you, like all the information comes out, like from your job to how much you should earn, to like a lot of information that like I'm saying, I need to prepare a lot for it. So like what I'm saying, why I'm saying this, that if you call my PA now and say, can I book an akasha record session, she'll probably say, let me come back to you, and then she'll ask me, and I'll be like, oh, in 2 weeks time when I'm finished with my birthday things. Yes, guys, this month is my birthday month. So because I never want to do an akasha record and not give you like the best information you need. So yeah, I do it, but not one of the best things I love doing. So any other questions? My goodness, I don't know. The Facebook comments and questions are not showing up. Okay, I can see Fortunate. Fortunate says, hey, Bana, fifth dimension, fly away. Yeah. So that I wanted to share a little bit about that, and I know that I've been getting a lot of inboxes about this information. That's why I wanted to share. But if you do have any questions, do send a WhatsApp. My WhatsApp line is 061 221 5687. Do send in questions and ask on my Instagram. You can send in inbox. On my WhatsApp, you can send there, or you can send an email, pa@busiselesho.com, and you ask information. But we are having a ceremony this Saturday. We're starting at 6 p.m. If you'd like to join us, come through. You are welcome to join. We still have you need at least about 3 days, 2 to 3 days to prepare fully to be ready to do this. So by Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you should be really focusing on doing the preparations, so then you can have a beautiful journey. And it is one life changing moment, like it's a life changing moment. So I have put up the poster on my Instagram and on my WhatsApp, so you can just do that. But you can also just use the same WhatsApp number and say that you want to come through. There are a few spaces that are left for this month, so yeah, please make sure you come through. So other than that, if you want to come through for the river cleansing, we're having river cleansing, I think, on the 19th of March. That's another great process to let go of stuff. And we are also going to be having our manifestation class on that same day, on the 19th of March. But I'm going to post the information so that if you want that, you can also just talk to my PA about all of those things. Other than that, you have a lovely, 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 lovely evening. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.